This is the Sales Babble Podcast, episode 219, a Blitz episode, the sales language.
Welcome to Sales Babble, the podcast that shares selling secrets for non-sellers. And now your host, Pat Helmers.
Hello, Sales Babblers. This is Pat Helmers, and today is going to be a short podcast because last week, my son, Captain John Helmers, married the lovely Colleen Kelly. And if you're Facebook friends of mine, you've probably seen the photos, and they're in the private Facebook group too. And I had over 120 people at my house. It was an outdoor wedding. It was quite warm, but yet a beautiful day, beautiful couple with their beautiful dogs. And we had a great time spending time with friends and families. Wow. It was quite an investment of time. I tell you, from the time Wednesday when the tent showed up until Tuesday morning when the final person left, it was more or less a full-time job. And as you can guess, I didn't get an awful lot of podcasting done. This week, I'm actually bicycling. I'm actually taking a vacation. I am bicycling 4 states: Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee. It should be quite hilly going up and down the Mississippi River Valley. I'm going with a good buddy of mine who I've known for many years. So I'm limited in the amount of time. So that's why I decided to do a Blitz episode and to talk about sales language. The reason I'm bringing this up is I've been working with a couple clients. They're startups. One is rolling out some hardware and one is rolling out some software. So this little episode is going to be advice for new sellers in a startup, but it could also be for seasoned sellers who are selling a new product or a new service. In both cases, with these clients that I'm working with, they've got beta testing going, but they're not converting these people to sales. And because it's such a problem for them, they reached out to me and they're like, well, what am I doing wrong? How do I sell to these people, Pat? What do I say? How do I close them? I don't know what to do. And actually what they're doing is placing the cart before the horse. And by that I mean in both cases, neither of them truly deeply understand exactly who they're selling to. They found somebody that was willing to give it a try, but they really don't understand why these people are giving it a try, which is why they're not converting them to sales. The value that they're providing to the market isn't clear to these beta clients, these beta prospects, we'll call them. So in both cases, what we're trying to do is figure out where to look next. And then we've kicked around lots of options. And what I'm having them do is to brainstorm 50-some possible verticals, markets that they can go into. I'm all about having a niche. Like as Pat Flynn says, the riches are in the niches. Or I like to say the word niche, but you get the idea. Is that, I sell payroll systems to Major League Baseball teams. And that's all I do. And I know exactly what their language is and I know exactly how to sell them. That's like a vertical. So I'm having them pick all these verticals out. What are the pros and cons for each of them? And then from that big list of 50, winnow it down to 10 clients and then actually do some market research on them. And by that, I mean you would ask them open-ended questions like, what is the challenges that you're facing in your business when it comes to, whatever feature, whatever service you're providing? What are the impediments to that challenge? What's the cost of failure for you? And it's usually in the area of revenue and profit or time or quality or frustration or there's many others. And then ask what's the opportunity if that challenge was met. These are like discovery conversations so that you can start learning their language. You can start learning the problems that they're facing. And oftentimes, when they see you asking these kinds of questions, they become curious about what exactly you're doing. Because you're not talking about you, you're trying to talk about them. And when they get curious, all of a sudden that discovery call turns into a sales call. That these interviewee candidates now become prospects. Does that make sense? And it's through this whole process. I was working with one of my with another guy who's a client of mine that I've had for quite a while, and he said that what he did was he came up with a set of these set of verticals, and he just go out there and he would try them. He would call them up. He would actually sometimes physically drive to them and just try to see what kind of conversations he could have with them. And he did 3, 4, 5, and he finally hit on one where everybody in that vertical wanted to talk to him. Everybody wanted to chat with him. And that's what he decided to build his business on. And he has been extremely successful doing that. It's just a process of elimination. See, this is the thing. You need to know the market that you're selling to, and you need to know their language. And the only way you can really do that is to practice it, is to actually get out there and talk to people. You can read stuff online all you want, but you actually got to be in dialogue with people, empathizing to what their wants and needs are and their desires. And once you do that, then you can become teacher, because that's what people are kind of looking for. People are looking for people concierge, who can walk them through the process, who can sift through all the data out there and all the trash and the garbage is out there on the internet. And the whole time that you're doing this, you're only focused on them, in their language. You see, it's foolish to focus on your technology. It's foolish to focus on your commissions or your end of quarter reports. What you need to focus on is their problems, their desires, the things that they care about. And if you do that, if you can help them, all those other problems will be fixed. A good buddy of mine just shared this failure that he had at a company. He was a sales guy there for a few years, and he just wasn't making his numbers. He really didn't believe in the product exactly. It was a highly competitive market. And they let him go. They said, you're just not, and he was busting his butt, but they let him go. And he was dejected and downfallen. But it opened up a possibility. He found another job in a place, things he had done before, and now he's crushing it. And he says that he loves what he's doing. This failure became an opportunity for him, because in this space, he really understands and he really gets the value that he's adding to his customers. So I want to wrap all this up. So what does this all mean? The message of the day is this. Take time to focus on a niche. Learn their language. Let them guide your solution. And like a mouse in a maze, when you're walking down this little aisle, this hallway, and you come to a dead end, turn around, try again. Because there is an exit. There is cheese at that exit. But it's going to take tenacity for you to find that. Try something. If it fails, try something different. If that fails, try something different. Try one niche after another niche after another niche after another niche. Tenacity is what's going to get you there. That's all I got for today. I really appreciate you visiting us here in Sales Babble. I hope that you have found value in this. Until next week. Oh, and by the way, folks, I have got a ton of really interesting, extremely interesting guests coming on. I interviewed a guy last week. We actually turned into 2 episodes, and it was just all about modern sales. Actually, the next step, like beyond the Challenger sale book. What is that next thing that's coming? And I'm really pumped about it. So if you liked this episode and you've liked our past episodes, and last month we had really great numbers, downloads, you're going to like what's coming up here in June. Until next week, folks, take care and have a highly successful and profitable selling day.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Babble podcast. Find us at www.salesbabble.com.